Hello, my name is JC and welcome to Nurse World Survival. Today we're gonna discuss like rewards and tips and tricks specifically while you're traveling to save as much money as you can. So I do have a list here, and basically I'm going to address first how managing your housing and documentation is important in case you do get audited by the IRS or you have to pay more taxes in the end. So what I have done is I've retained all housing documentation for each contract. I have a folder for the different cities I've been. I make sure all my contracts are in there to document the time frames. I also save all my travel receipts to show when I was traveling in case there's a problem there. Remember that you can only stay in one place for 12 months within a 24-month period, and that has been verified by a CPA of mine. I would highly recommend you paying the extra money to have a CPA on board. Do not just Google or read other posts on Facebook. More than likely, they're just assuming or they're just word of mouth from other travelers, and that is inaccurate information. Please hire a CPA. I did have to pay $500, and I feel like I felt more comfortable and I understood how travel nursing works in general and could make more informed decisions with budgeting and housing. So definitely get them on board, preferably in your tax home state, and make sure they're familiar with how travel nursing works too, because some CPAs are not familiar with how travel nursing gets reported. Okay, so another thing I have on my list here is the IRS does not specify a mile radius. Additionally, you must visit your legal residence, which qualifies as your tax home, for at least 30 days in the last 12 months or at least 60 days in the last 24 months. These visits do not need to be consecutive. So I did get this from the IRS site. This is very easy to look up if you want to verify what I'm telling you. To receive the full 7-day stipend, the tax-free portion for meals and housing, you must duplicate expenses by maintaining a primary residence and provide proof of housing. So you need to have utility bills, rent, or mortgage in your tax home to prove that you are living there, that that is your home base. A helpful guideline that I like to do regarding that is, again, like just make sure you have all your invoices, including hotels that you stay at on the way or when you leave your assignment. Just save everything because you could either deduct it later or you can refer back to it for certain time frames on an assignment. So the next thing I want to talk about is utilizing resources and rewards. So I have basically checked Facebook Travel Nurse Gypsy site regarding like if I can't find anything on Furnish Finders, I'll go on there and see if there's any housing posts for that area. And then when I'm driving on the way to an assignment or flying or whatever, I like to stick to at least one or two rewards programs. So I had Marriott and Hilton, and there are things about that I liked about the Marriott, and there are things about I liked about the Hilton, but those two hotels, you could also do Holiday Inn, are in are available in most states. So the Hyatt, for example, may not always be available in every state, and you won't be able to use every hotel stay towards your rewards. And I feel like it's important to take advantage of that because on your times off in between assignments, you can actually have your entire vacation paid, which I've done more than once. I've even gone 30 days staying at a hotel in between assignments or whatever and did not have to pay a dime because I stuck with one or two rewards programs with certain hotel chains. Same thing with airlines. I noticed that American Airlines is available even in smaller cities. Sometimes Delta, not so much the other airlines. So pay attention to that. I'm not necessarily a fan of American Airlines, but they are convenient and they are in most airports. So those are things to think about when you start traveling. I also think about the gas stations because the more you use, you're going to be using these places a lot. And you want to be able to cash out those points or rewards later. And that is a real thing. And it's amazing how much you rack up, even in like, let's say, a 6 month period or even after a year. It's definitely something you should strongly look into.